Did you know around 60% of women get UTIs, aka urinary tract infections, at some point in their life? And around half of them have recurrent infections. Insane, right? Many live for years, even decades, without any appropriate diagnosis or treatment plan, which in the long run can lead to chronic conditions causing damage to the urinary tract and the kidneys. Now, Dr. Desai, please tell us that there is some kind of solution to these crazy recurrent UTIs.
So, women's health is a very, very important issue in our country. When you look at it, urinary tract infection is a very, very important aspect of genitourinary health. When you look at it, these women are suffering from either from bacterial infections, either from fungal or protozoal infections. So these can, as you rightly said, a lot of women suffer from it. It goes on chronically for a long duration of time. What is important is to find and make a diagnosis. What is the exact microorganism that is involved in these infections? To treat it adequately with antibiotics or antifungals which are there, see to it that the right organism is isolated and the appropriate antibiotic cure for appropriate duration is given. Maintaining the hygiene is a very, very important aspect of it. Many times these are diseases or these are infections which are transferred from the partners also. Treatment of the partner also becomes a very, very important aspect. And that's where evaluating that, visiting your gynecologist, doing certain investigations becomes a very, very critical aspect when you are dealing with recurrent or even urinary tract infection.
Now, you said that the partner also needs to be cautious of these things. Does that mean that the partner can spread it or make it worse once you already have a UTI infection?
Yes, so as I said, it can be transmitted through contact, and that's where you need to see that both the partners, if there are, and that's one of the precautions you need to take, that you need to also treat both the partners when urinary tract infection is actually happening recurrent. The most important thing also, as I keep on saying, is that you need to see what is the underlying cause for the urinary tract infection. Is there a certain microorganism for which you haven't adequately treated? Many times these urinary tract infections are because of lack of hygiene, and diabetes, again, which is very, very common here in our country, is also responsible for these urinary tract infections.
So it doesn't just have to come from a partner or through bad hygiene with a partner, it can also come through other causes like diabetes.
So diabetes, if a person has got diabetes, their chances of having urinary tract infection is much more higher than normal individuals.
Why is that?
Because what happens in diabetes is that you have blood sugar which can be given out through the genitourinary rate, and that increases the whole multiplication of the bacteria which are there in that area. So if you look at it generally in diabetes, the chances of infections are much more in all these patients.
Now, I know that a lot of people end up getting on antibiotics for these things. Is there an alternative to antibiotics? Because antibiotics generally have some kind of long-term implication on our health as well, right?
Sure. So once an adequate diagnosis has been made, adequate treatment has been done with the antibiotics, there can be supplements and nutritional or nutraceutical supplements that can help you to tackle this issue. So there are these D-mannose which is there, then you can use probiotics which have been used quite often for these conditions. Cranberry is again something which has been used for very frequently for management of these recurrent UTIs. So these are some of the supplements that can help in management of recurrent UTIs if it is not related specifically to a specific infection or a bacteria or a microorganism.
So they can help prevent them, but when you have a UTI currently, if you have a UTI, can these things help get rid of it?
So again, what you need to do is that you need to find out what is the exact underlying cause for the urinary infection that's happening. Why is it happening routinely? Why is there, as we call it, as a recurrent part of it? Has a specific antibiotic that is going to take care has been prescribed? Has the organism been isolated that is responsible for a recurrence of it? And along with that, then you can give these supplements which can help you to take care of these infections.
Well, it's an unfortunate statistic that 60% of women are going through it, but it's really nice to know that Antibiotics aren't the only end-all solution to helping deal with them and helping reduce the recurrence of UTIs.